Hello, I'm Ronna Keagle. I'm the lay leader here at Wellspring. I know all of you are eager to hear about the status of our building repairs, and that's why I'm here today to let you know what's going on. Up until now, most of the work has been going on behind the scenes, and in fact, we owe a great debt of thanks to our trustees and to our office staff who've been working hours on the cleanup, assessing the scope of the damage, working with our insurance company. They just needed to make sure nothing was missed and that everything was going to be paid for. But now, finally, we're ready to get started. Within just a few days, work will begin. We have engaged a contractor who will be coordinating all the different aspects of the work. The scope was quite large, and there were a lot of different parts to it. He estimates that the work is going to take about 2 months. And then we will need a little bit more time to get all of this equipment put back into the sanctuary, reconnect the electronics, make sure that the sound's working properly. Our goal is to be back together inside this building the first Sunday in August, to be able to worship together in person. There's a couple of things you might want to watch for, a couple of improvements. We did have to take the stage out because there was water trapped underneath it. And so we're putting in a new, larger stage with space for the praise band over on the right-hand side so that they won't have to stand on that portable riser. We're also going to put in a ramp in the stage so that our all means all motto will apply to those who are mobility challenged. They also can get up on the stage to participate in worship leadership. That roll-top desk that housed all our tech equipment, that isn't going to be there in the middle of the sanctuary anymore. We're going to have a dedicated area for our tech equipment. We're going to move it back against the back wall in a booth with space for someone to work that. There will be a week when the church is going to be closed while the floors are refinished. It takes time for those to cure. We'll keep you posted about the dates when the church is going to be closed and the best way to contact the office at that time. Well, again, I know you all are as eager as I am to get back to church, to worship in person again. I'll be here at the end of the service with Pastor Jeff to answer any questions you might have. You just type them in the chat box and we'll be able to see those. Next, you're going to hear from Frank Westpfahl, who's been leading our Back to Church work team, and he's going to describe the work that they've been doing to get us all back to church.
Good morning, church. I'm Frank Westphahl. I'm the leader of our Back to Church team. This morning, I want to share some great news as it relates to returning to in-person worship. As a result of the pandemic, we have all been hearing the term new normal a lot. We hear it everywhere these days. Well, I'm here to share our vision for what the new normal will look like for Wellspring. Specifically, we want to talk today about the structure of our Sunday worship experience. When we started this process, we were given 2 guiding principles to build our plan upon. Due to our age demographic, safety of our parishioners will always be our top priority. And due to the overwhelming success of our live stream service, we will continue this ministry going forward. We quickly realized that in order to create a new vision and build our Back to Church plan, we needed to do more research. We conducted an online congregation survey, and by the way, thank you to all who took the time to respond. It's been very helpful. We researched best practices employed by other churches, and we reviewed various health guidelines provided by the CDC in Williamson County. I guess what we learned should not be a huge surprise, but it is the foundation for our new Sunday worship structure and our Back to Church plan. We learned that there is a strong desire for the following: to maintain our current live stream service and maintain both our traditional and contemporary style services, but also to create dedicated time for Christian education and discipleship that does not conflict with our worship services. We believe that our new vision will satisfy all these desires. So what is our new vision for the Sunday worship experience? We're going to start the morning at 7:45 a.m. by recording a live stream service just like you see today. Only the worship team will be in attendance. Then at 9 o'clock, we will have an in-person traditional style service similar to our 9:30 service before the pandemic. But also at 9 o'clock, we will live stream our service that we recorded earlier. It will be kept interactive just like today. What makes this service so special is that you are the congregation and are not just watching an in-person service. You are who the worship team is talking and singing with. You are who Pastor Jeff is sharing his message with. This is what connects us as a community of faith and makes this an exciting new ministry for Wellspring. Then at 10 o'clock, we will now have time for Christian education and discipleship that will not conflict with a worship service. This is another exciting opportunity to expand those ministries in ways we were not able to before. Then we'll end the morning at 11 o'clock with our in-person contemporary style service just like before. And as a quick side note, both our traditional and contemporary services will not be live streamed at this time. I wanted to share this new vision with you today because it offers us exciting opportunities to expand our ministry in ways we had not been able to pre-COVID. We will simply not be going back to the way it was. This will be our new normal for the Wellspring Sunday morning worship experience. Now, we may not have all of the pieces of our new vision in place on the first Sunday we return to in-person worship, but it is important for you to understand where we are headed as a church. As we get closer to the completion of construction, we'll be back to share more details with you about how we plan to start in-person worship. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Ronna and Pastor Jeff to answer questions from your Facebook comments. And until next time, may God bless you all.
So we are here to share in the any questions that you have. I'm hopeful that the videos answered a great deal of your questions, but what are we have a couple that we're going to at least address here. So we'll put that up, and that is it was the comment that I was been waiting to hear from our sweet Pat Dodge, who can hardly wait to get back to church again, and who I know Pat's ready for a hug. I want to share one thing that we as we talked about back to church, Ronna, we talked about how we, kind of the flow and keeping people safe, as Frank had talked about that. One of the things that we've talked about is how we flow people in. We're still going to be very careful about the variants that are out there. But the thing that we're talking about is flowing people in and still creating distance, some safe social distancing between us. And then as we leave, we'll go out the door. For those who know the building well, we'll go out the door that goes toward the prayer garden from the sanctuary. And that's where I'll be, Pat. So come get your hug. I'll be there. So we will have that time. So anything you want to add on that?
No, Pat, I can't wait to see you again. I'll wait for you in the prayer garden too.
So do we have any others that have come in that, yep. Okay, how will we get the word out? That's a good question for us. Getting the word out is critical, and we've talked about all of our communication tools. So we will be, as we see the target date, and we have to get into construction and make sure that we're not too slowed down by some of the things. So as we get probably halfway through construction, so probably I would expect by the end of June we would hear a pretty clear word about a date.
One of the things that a lot of pieces hinge on is getting the floors done,
Yes.
because it's messy and you don't want to paint or put in the new edging before that's done. And the crew that does that, in case you don't remember, there was a lot of damage throughout Texas, and there's a demand for all of those workers. So they can't get in till mid-June. That has to happen, and then we can really get started quickly with some of the things. So we'll know by the end of June
By the end of June, it should
where
be
we
a
are
good
with
time.
the schedule.
And so, and when they do the floors, because our floors are stained, it's stained concrete, they have to come in with a diamond grinder, and they literally have to grind a thin layer off the top of the floors before they can come back in and stain. And that shuts us down almost completely. For a couple of weeks, we'll be doing worship, at least 1 week, maybe more, but at least 1 week we'll be doing a recorded service like we've done before. So you'll be seeing us like we've done whenever we were in the Ice Age, when we had that experience. And so, and it's an opportunity for us to, we'll still interact with you on that, but getting the word out that way through our ad in the newspaper, and we will take out a larger ad in the newspaper for that time when that time comes. We will also make sure that we will work with any other publication, impact, community impact, and other community publications through our e-news, through Facebook, and through our other social media. So we'll just make sure that we're getting that word out, and you'll be hearing it a lot. So it will happen.
I think the Back to Church team is also working on a video that will explain all the details and all the pieces that we're going to do. You can watch it as many times as you need to.
That's right.
Before you feel ready to come back to church. So look for that. I'm sure we'll have it up on the church website for people to watch. We'll show it
Right.
after church one day.
Right.
So
And when we do that also, we will have we'll be really just encouraging people to go to the website, and we'll make sure that the website is completely up to date. So you'll have no questions about that. So do we have another question? Yeah. Okay. What's our plan for children's classes or any Mom's Day out and such? So you want to start?
Sure. I'll say right now we are kind of, what is it you always say, that liminal space?
That liminal
Right now
space.
we're holding that plan for other pieces of it to wait until we are back into worship and see how that goes and how smoothly that goes, where we are with the variants, all of that. And then we will roll out the plan for not just children's service, children's classes and everything, but our own classes as well. So they're thinking about that. They're planning if this, then that, plan B's, but we don't know yet.
Right. And one thing also is Mom's Day Out refers most likely to our to ACP, to our Child's Place, our preschool that we've had for several years. As of this time, we've closed our preschool and do not have a preschool at this point. What we're doing is we have to deal with so many other things here, and as Ronna said, we're kind of in the liminal space. We're in that space where we're discerning what's next, but we will certainly be announcing what future preschool plans will look like. That will be later. That will be a time that will be later, and we know that. Sunday school classes, we'll obviously be working with Sunday school leaders, with staff who work with Sunday school, both children, students. So Rodney will be very involved in that as we begin to move toward that plan of what it looks like for us to come back. So.
And before our children's classes start, we hope children will come to service. So we do plan to have an area set up with activities like we had before, and that we hope families will be here with their children and worshiping with us. So we want everybody to come back.
Okay. Yeah, very much. Last one. Okay. Thank you so much, Jenny. Your staff loves you. Hope the staff members will take off while the floor work is being done. They deserve an extra week of rest after all they've done this last year and a half. And she's also the chair of SPR as our lay leader. So
this is the first time I've been back to see what's been going on with the worship team. It's a wonder to behold. I'll be honest. I am so impressed with everything that our worship team has done. I don't want to embarrass them, but they're artists. I'm watching what's going on behind the scenes and how they flow from one camera to the other and the creativity that they show. So I can't praise them enough for all they've done and thank them for their work.
Yeah, well, thank you. And one of the things that we have talked about too is during that time when the floors are being done, the church will be officially closed, so the office won't be open. And so one other thing I wanted to add, because it didn't come up, but I think it's where I'll kind of close, is the idea of we're for live stream for the future, we realize that there are a lot of people who like what we do, the way we're doing here, where it's face-to-face encounter, and we are trying not to, we're trying to avoid moving a camera to just kind of the fly-on-the-wall position, so that people that we're interacting with in this space are truly seeing what you're seeing now pretty much. So it'll be very similar to the format that we have and how we're doing this. We'll be back in the sanctuary, so it'll look different, and we'll do some things that we have to work with there. But the thing that also, recording it early on Sunday mornings in the 7:30 to 7:45 time that we start recording, and we record it, and then it will be ready to be broadcast at 9 o'clock. So it will start at 9 o'clock. And what we do, though, in that time is we'll make sure, the reason for waiting till Sunday morning is because sometimes there are things that happen in our world that we feel like we may need to really speak to in our worship, and we want to have that opportunity to have the worship services all connected. I'll be preaching 3 times like I've done before. The thing that I've already said I'm going to have to ask the people in the 9 o'clock for grace on is that you'll see me with my phone. And what you'll see is that on occasion I will type something into my phone, and that'll be for the people who are still on live stream. So I'm going to make an effort to have a brief communication here and there live in the live stream, but what you'll be seeing is a recorded service. It's just recorded an hour before. So we hope that we're able to get the quality of the online service to maintain that, to make it be what it is. And so we're very blessed with leadership that has been working with us and helping us come to this place. And so it's an exciting new age, and the Spirit's going to lead us in this, and that's why we celebrated. We thought today would be a great day to do this, have this opportunity to talk. So
It is. That'll be part, I was thinking about that coming today. That'll be part of the new normal, is Jeff with his phone in his hand, and you'll know that he's literally connecting to the sister service at 9 o'clock, who are there in the space the very same time you are, and that'll be linking us to them. So we'll know.
That's
what's
right.
going on.
And so, well, Ronna, thank you for your leadership. I want to say a word of thanks to Ronna and to Frank for having stepped up, and there are plenty of others. So Ken and George have also stepped up incredibly. Stan Balsamo, the board, all the members of the governing board have had some role in it, but those that I've named have been people who have been just like I think that they're starting to get where they don't want to open an email that says Jeff Smith on it because they're not really sure what's next, you know?
Exactly. It'll be a miracle if the trustees ever agree to be trustees again. They've worked so hard since the beginning of the year. We've had so many things going on with
Yes,
the
they
building.
have. Yes, they have.
So thank you to all the trustees for that.
And thank you to the church. So this is the thing that I close with here, that you, the church, have been such an incredible part of, you've maintained not just your financial support of the church, you've maintained your encouragement, you've shared the Spirit with us. So as we wrap up this time, we say thank you to you. And you are a true blessing. And so with that, we go from here. Go in peace.